Your body can do something extraordinary right now. It can walk for hours without stopping. It can carry weight across uneven ground. It can throw, climb, sprint, and recover. You are built for something your daily life almost never asks of you. And the gap between what your body can do and what you actually ask it to do is one of the most important distances in human history, because roughly 300,000 years ago, that gap did not exist. Your ancestors were not stronger than you because they trained harder. They were stronger because their entire existence was the training. Every single day. From childhood to old age. With no breaks, no rest days, and no choice, so just how strong were ancient humans? And why does the answer matter for the body you are living in right now? Let us start with the bones. Bones are not fixed. They respond to the forces placed on them throughout a lifetime. The more stress a bone experiences repeatedly, the denser and thicker it becomes. Anthropologists call this bone remodeling, and it leaves a permanent record in the skeleton, a physical diary of everything a body did during its life. When researchers examine ancient human skeletons, the record is startling. Bioarchaeologist Timothy Ryan at Penn State University and colleagues studying hunter-gatherer remains have found that prehistoric human leg bones, specifically the cross-sectional shape of the femur and tibia, show dramatically higher bone density and robustness than the bones of modern humans today. The difference is not subtle. In some populations, the bone walls of ancient humans were so thick they resemble the bones of elite endurance athletes in the modern world. And these were ordinary people. Not warriors. Not exceptional individuals. Just regular members of a band, living the only way they knew how. Think about what that means. The average ancient human had a skeleton that, by modern standards, would suggest a professional athlete. But they were just living their lives, and it was not just the legs. Studies of upper limb bones, arms, shoulders, tell an equally dramatic story. Research led by Alison Macintosh at the University of Cambridge compared the arm bones of prehistoric European farmers and hunter-gatherers to the arm bones of modern Cambridge University rowing athletes, some of the most highly trained upper-body athletes in the world today. The prehistoric farmers were close. The hunter-gatherers before them were stronger. Their bones recorded a lifetime of pulling, carrying, digging, and climbing that even elite rowers today could not match. So how were they actually building this strength? Not in a gym. Through the texture of daily life, let us reconstruct a day. Picture your ancestor, a man in his late 20s, somewhere in Central Europe about 10,000 years ago. He wakes before dawn on the ground, which means his core engaged and stabilized him through the night without a mattress absorbing his movement. He rises without a chair. Just a controlled squat from ground to standing, a movement most modern adults lose the ability to do comfortably by their 40s. He has not eaten since the evening before. His body is running on stored fuel. Efficient and adapted to gaps in nutrition that would leave a modern person dizzy and reaching for snacks. His morning begins with walking. Not a stroll. A purposeful traverse of uneven terrain, rocks, roots, slopes, stream beds, that activates every stabilizing muscle in his feet, ankles, knees, and hips simultaneously. Researchers studying the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last remaining hunter-gatherer populations on Earth, have found that Hadza men walk an average of 11 to 14 kilometers per day on terrain like this. That is more than the daily step count recommended by modern health guidelines, completed before midday, on ground that demands constant micro-adjustments from hundreds of muscles that modern shoes and flat surfaces have mostly switched off. Then comes the hunt. Anthropologist Louis Liebenberg, who spent years studying persistence hunting among the San people of the Kalahari, documented something that sounds almost impossible to a modern person. Ancient hunters did not always try to outrun their prey. Instead, they outlasted it. A human hunter would track an animal, often a kudu or a wildebeest, across open ground for hours, sometimes 4 to 6 hours continuously, under direct sun, at a pace that kept the animal moving fast enough that it could not stop to cool down. The animal would eventually collapse from hyperthermia, heat exhaustion. The human would walk up and finish the hunt. This technique, called persistence hunting, works because of something unique to your species. Humans are among the best long-distance runners on Earth. You have an Achilles tendon that stores and releases elastic energy. You have the ability to sweat across your entire body surface, cooling yourself with extraordinary efficiency. You have a skull balanced on top of your spine so your head stays level while your body runs beneath it. You were built to run long distances in the heat. And your ancestors used every single one of those adaptations, every few days, for their entire lives. Now comes the counterintuitive twist. You might assume that this constant physical demand meant ancient humans were always exhausted, always on the edge of collapse. The evidence suggests the opposite. Anthropologist Herman Pontzer at Duke University has spent years studying the metabolic rates of the Hadza. What he found overturned a central assumption of modern health culture. The Hadza, despite their extraordinary activity levels, do not burn significantly more total calories per day than sedentary office workers in the United States. Their bodies had adapted to the load. Their metabolic machinery was calibrated for sustained output in a way that modern bodies, switching between long periods of sitting and short bursts of intense exercise, are not. This is a crucial distinction. Ancient strength was not the product of occasional intensity. It was the product of consistent, low to moderate, all-day physical engagement baked into every hour of every day. Your body was designed for that pattern. The modern world has removed it almost entirely, and the consequences are visible in your skeleton. Research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that modern human leg bones are significantly less dense than those of early Homo sapiens from 12,000 years ago, and the decline accelerated dramatically after the agricultural revolution and again after industrialization. Your bones are recording the same truth your ancestors' bones recorded, just in reverse. Less load, less density, less structural strength over a lifetime. There is one more layer to this story. Ancient strength was not just muscular or skeletal. It was neurological. Moving across complex natural terrain constantly, tracking, climbing, balancing, throwing, requires enormous computational demand from the brain. Researchers including Daniel Lieberman at Harvard University have argued that the physical demands of hunter-gatherer life were inseparable from cognitive demands. Reading landscape, predicting animal behavior, navigating without landmarks, these were not separate from the physical. They were performed simultaneously, by a brain and body working as a single integrated system. Your brain, like your bones, responds to the demands placed on it. And the demand of moving through a complex physical world, day after day, year after year, shaped a brain that was extraordinarily capable precisely because it could never afford to stop. So here is where this lands for you. You are not weaker than your ancestors because you are lazy or broken. You are weaker because you live in a world that has systematically removed the stimuli that built their strength. The uneven ground. The daily walking. The carrying. The climbing. The long, slow, sustained movement. Your body is still waiting for those signals. It has not forgotten how to respond to them. The bone remodeling system still works. The metabolic adaptation is still available. The neurological integration of movement and cognition is still possible. Every time you choose stairs over elevators, walk on uneven ground instead of a treadmill, carry something heavy instead of using a cart, or sit on the floor instead of a chair, you are sending your body a signal it recognizes at a level far deeper than conscious habit. You are speaking the language your body was built to hear. Your ancestors were not stronger than you because they were different. They were stronger than you because the world they lived in demanded it every single day. Your world does not demand it. But your body still remembers how to answer.